Hello there, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. I was wanting to make a quilt and I had an idea of what I wanted to do. Couldn't find a block that was exactly like I wanted. So I got into my Electric Quilt 8 program on the computer and I came up with a few blocks and finally decided on the block that I wanted to make. I decided on that last block on the right, but I'm going to do it in greens and blues. Now I used Electric Quilt 8 as well to give me the sizes of each strip, and I'll put all that information in my description. But the reason you can't use a strip tube method on this is because those dark fabrics, there's not much of those. The light ones are the ones that you need lots and lots of strips for the light, but you don't need that many for the dark and everywhere in between. So there's really no way to use an easy strip set method or an easy strip tube method without a lot of waste. First, I looked through my prepackaged jelly rolls to see what I had. Unfortunately, even though, for example, I have 3 of those bright colors all in the same colorway, none of them had the right ratios that I needed, which was going to be about 60% light, maybe about 30% medium, and maybe 10% dark. None of them would work for me for what I was wanting with greens and blues. So next I grabbed my other bin of 2.5-inch strips and also some that aren't 2.5-inch strips. These are all strips that I cut myself from leftover 108 backing fabrics, and I did feel like I was going to have enough here to have a lot of light, some medium shade, and some light shade. Here you see the blues I'm choosing in black and white. So I've got a dark and a medium, and then I had to search around for a light. I did end up going to my stash as well to cut 2.5-inch strips from some of my stash fabrics. I just didn't have enough of the shades of green that I wanted. To save fabric, I am going to be using this binding tool ruler to cut 45-degree angles. You can use any ruler that has a 45-degree line, but I just happen to have this. It's 2.5 inches wide and it has that 45-degree angle. And the last thing I gathered was some black scrap leftover yardage. I pressed it out nice and flat, and I cut some squares, and then I cut those squares into triangles. I plan to snowball one corner of every block. Next, it was time to cut my fabric strips for my blocks, and I had written down how many of each color I needed per block, and then that times the number of blocks was how many total. Now, what I'm doing here, you're going to realize pretty quick, if you've done this type of thing before, that I am doing this wrong. When you're using that 45-degree angle ruler, your fabric should all be right side up unless you're doing opposite blocks, and I was not wanting to do opposite blocks. But here you see I've just folded this long strip in half and I'm cutting this on that 45-degree angle. And the fabric savings comes in here. I can flip the fabric around or I can flip the ruler around, and just for one cut it's not that much fabric savings, but if you're making a whole quilt, that's a lot of fabric you're saving, 3 to 4 inches per cut. Again, I just want to caution you, when you're using this method and making this quilt, make sure your fabric's all going the same direction, all right side up or all wrong side up. It doesn't matter. Just make sure they're all the same. I think that part of my brain knew I was doing this wrong because when I made one of my charity quilts earlier this year, I cut them all wrong. I was making a cascade type quilt and I cut them all wrong and it did not work out for me. It's a little painful watching myself cut these all incorrectly. I had to recut the greens, well, 50% of the greens I had to recut, and luckily I did have enough leftover fabric that I was able to do it. The blues, I gave myself enough wiggle room that I did not have to recut the blues. I was able to just flip the strip around the other way, and I had plenty of length. And this right here is where I realized I needed to recut half of my greens. I actually played around in EQ8 with just reworking the quilt design totally and doing half the blocks one way and half the blocks a different way. And I said, no, that's not what I want. I want it to be the way I envisioned. So I did recut half the green strips. Now we can start sewing these blocks together. So the first thing I'm going to do is sew my light to medium to dark to darkest green strips. And some of my strips are a little bit longer than they need to be. You can see that here with my darkest green. It's way longer than it needs to be. But I'm glad I did that because on the blues, I did not have to recut any fabric. I was able to just flip those middle strips around the opposite way. So I went through and chain pieced the dark and the darkest greens together first. And then I went through and did the light and the medium together. Then I put the light and the medium blues through the machine as well on the same chain. After I broke that chain, I went back through and put the two sets of greens together. And then to the blue, I added that darkest strip. I pressed all these units, all these little strip sets, nice and flat. Now it was time to trim the green sections. I decided to trim up these green sections. I'm going to make my two 90-degree cuts on the two straight sides. And then I'm going to go back through this stack again and cut a 45-degree angle. I'm putting that 45-degree angle line on my ruler on a straight edge, and then the straight edge of my ruler is the 45-degree angle. Next, I'll be able to just stitch these blue sections on without trimming them first. And then once I get the square trimmed to the size I want, I'll add that snowball. One thing that does save me a lot of time in my sewing is chain piecing. So here you see I'm chain piecing the whole stack of the green with the whole stack of the blue together. Once I got them all stitched together, I pressed them nice and flat. On my first pass trimming these blocks, I was lining up my ruler on the green sides at 7 3/4 inches and then just trimming off the blue sides. However, I decided to rethink this. I decided instead of that, first I was going to line up that 45-degree line on my ruler with the seam line, because maybe things shifted when I pressed. Maybe that green wasn't as square as I thought it was, so I decided to go ahead and line that up, trim two sides, then flip the block around. Keep that 45-degree line on that seam line, flip it around and trim the opposite two sides. This really got me a better result. Even though I had pre-trimmed that green, I decided to go ahead and check it this way and do it this way just to get a better result on my quilt. I took a little bit of time to salvage any pieces that were big enough to add to my scrap pile. Now, one more thing I rethought in this quilt. Originally, I was going to just put these triangles on and stitch them and flip them over. I changed my mind. I decided to get out some black yardage and cut 36 squares. And yes, that means I'm going to have more triangles left over, but I'm going to get a better result if I start with a square. And I am cutting my squares to 3.5 inches square, but you can use any size square you want. If you want your little secondary pattern to be larger or smaller, any size square will work. To snowball the corner of every block, I'm folding that square in half diagonally, and I'm going to press it with right sides out. This is going to make it easier for me to stitch right on that crease and then press that seam back. For all 36 blocks, I'm snowballing the corner where the light green and the light blue come together. Once all 36 snowballs were stitched, I trimmed away those triangles, put those in my triangle bag, and pressed my snowball open. Next, I'm going to stitch up all 36 blocks into pairs, and the pairs are going to have the little black snowball triangles meeting. When I finished putting all the pairs together, I started joining pairs into rows of 6 blocks, or 3 pairs each row. These blocks were of the right length where I could just flip around the 4th block in the row and then join on blocks 5 and 6 without breaking thread. Now putting the rows together was pretty easy too. I just want to put 2 rows together so that the black snowball fabric meets in the middle. I'm going to be using my clips to carefully clip these rows together, and this way I'll make sure my black snowball fabric does line up when I join these rows. Once I got 3 pairs of rows joined, I just had to put those 3 pairs together to complete this quilt. Here's that finished quilt. I think it just turned out so pretty. It's going to make a great little baby quilt for my charity project. If you enjoyed this video, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon. You'll get notifications when I post a new video. Comments, questions, and super thanks are always welcome too. I really appreciate the support. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back again real soon.